get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Hey everybody, I am John Taman and welcome to the world's worst podcast host on the world's best podcast. That is a conundrum that you'll all have to figure out. I do appreciate all the cards and letters I get of support telling me that I'm not the world's worst podcast host. Scott G, the candy was nice. I thought that was a nice touch. He sent me some chocolates. But are we still having feedback?
I don't know.
I'm guessing we don't have feedback. Am I audible?
Yeah,
I
think we're good.
You're good.
Okay. you know how it is, man. This is a podcast that's not professional. I'm the world's worst podcast host. This is a fan show by fans for fans, and we're going to talk about some fan shit today. But we're going to get started right here with my favorite fan from Southeast Virginia, Jesse Martin. How you doing there, bud?
Fantastic, man. Glad the week's over with.
Fantastic, he said.
Ready for some motherfucking football.
Now, were there any aquatic rodents that you had to service this week?
Not this week, but I did have to move a fucking tree. A 30-foot tree, right? Okay. So we're building a new playground. Fucking huge playground. Ripped out an old one, put a new one in. But there's this fucking tree, okay?
Fucking tree.
Parks and Rec wanted us to move it 10 fucking feet over to, just 10 feet over. Because
what?
It got yes. I said, can we just cut it down and plant a new fucking tree instead of moving the fucking tree? That would be the logical. I mean, we got a million fucking trees. Who fucking cares? It's a tree. No, this tree's dedicated to a member of our society or some bullshit. I was like, okay, well, we can do a rededication, or how about this? Move the playground plants 10 fucking feet over. No, we because there's plenty of room. I mean, we have a freaking 100-damn-acre park. What we have, and it's all grass. But come to find out, this citizen is dead. The citizen is dead. Has been dead for 20 years.
Things happen.
So, like they're gonna fucking know.
Listen, I happen to know that if you did move this tree or did something to this tree, and it's been dedicated to this person that's been dead 20 years, and you put a playground in that place, kids are going to be coming up dead in mysterious, horrible ways. I'm serious. You're going to have kids getting their head cut off on the sliding board some way. You're going to have like the... Dude, have you never watched a movie? My God, this is exactly how this stuff works. God damn it, you're going to go fucking around with shit. You're probably going to talk them into moving the damn playground 10 feet over onto an Indian burial ground, and then all hell's breaking loose. Anyway.
No, it's ridiculous.
All right.
But, oh well.
Well, there you go. These are the kinds of things that you, as a civil servant, must deal with on our behalf. Thank you very much. Down below, another civil servant. There's our good friend, Scott Hartley. Scott, we saw you naked a minute ago.
Well, you did, yeah. I just changed my top. I'm not a civil servant, John, by the way, but thank you. I appreciate it. No. I don't
We're all civil servants at heart.
We are, yeah. What's happened to this general bullshit session, Max? I mean,
what do you mean?
It's just got wild. It's just got wild.
I mean,
it's wild.
while we're on the woe stories of the week, can I fill you in on one?
Please give us the woe story of the week. By the way, down below is the Maxtician Max. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. So, on Monday, I'm young. I'm trying to move in a new place. I bought a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
And it didn't work.
Oh, well, see, you know what? That's what you tell them. You take it back and you say, this thing sucks. And they say, well,
that's what I did.
What's the problem?
Well,
no,
that's what I did,
sir.
And, they gave me a coupon code to send to the manufacturer. And it was, the Cowboys suck. Well, they sent me a sticker to put on it. And now it sucks like a charm.
Oh, there we go. I'll tell you what. There, we're gonna give you something for that. That was. There you go. That was a long way to go.
Do you know what, Max? You should be on stage, mate. I tell you, sweeping
I
the
know.
fucker.
Look.
That's about it. Jesus.
Fantastic there.
Jesse's tips.
What the fuck is that? What the hell was that?
Look.
What the hell was that?
All right.
I had an interesting story at work where a gentleman was in his overalls in a warehouse, a logistics warehouse, I might add, working on his computer, which obviously is doing receipt and dispatch of goods and stuff. And the photo came through and it said, "This is not a joke." And I was like, okay. And he was genuinely covered in bubble wrap, right? And then above the bubble wrap, all over his desk, all the way over, was bubble wrap. So that the pigeons didn't shit on his head.
Well, you've
Mike,
got some.
the BBC means something totally different on an American podcast than it does.
Yeah,
That's
he
right,
means
it
the
does.
British
BBC.
Broadcasting Corporation, yes.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean that over here.
I know what
Jesse's-
that means, yeah.
You jump on Jesse's. It's well, never mind. We're not going to go down that road. But Jesse gets himself all like this, while Scott sits there like that.
Correct.
Anyway, all right. So I'm sorry that you had such a bad experience buying a vacuum, Max. However, that's a very small vacuum for a very big place.
It's not a big place. Why do you think I have a big place?
I don't think you necessarily have a big place, but that's a fucking vacuum that you use to clean up the couch. What are you, living on a couch?
Sometimes. Depends if I'm in the doghouse
All
or
right,
not.
well, we've all been there. All right, so let's see. This week we got a big game coming up with the Carolina Panthers. Are we still in the general bullshit session? We've heard about your down tree, and we've also heard that you're trying to curse a bunch of children with a really truly a playground that is haunted by demons. We heard about Scott and his adventures with the bubble wrap boy at work. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
And Max put a Cowboys sticker on his vacuum so it would suck more. That's pretty good. I'll tell you what, Max pulled that joke back from about, 2009, that thing came out.
Hey, I was
That was
13
good.
then, you know.
That was good. All right, so, and here's your yearbook picture. No, I'm not going to go with that. All right, so who's going to the game?
It's
this
probably
week?
near you. What did you just ask?
Anybody going to the game this week? Scott, you going to the game this week?
No.
Oh, no, you're 5,000.
If it was a 1 o'clock game, I would have gone.
Yeah? It's a 425 game,
yeah.
right?
405.
405.
405. So a lot of the country gets to watch the Panthers. That's pretty bad. So
No, it's not because
I
it's
think
not,
the other
it's not-
game is the Bear. Is it the Lions against?
No,
Yeah,
the
Vikings.
other
the
the
Lions and
national
Vikings is gonna
game
be
is the
murderous.
Chiefs and 49ers.
Oh, Chiefs
That's
and
right,
49ers.
Chiefs,
Yeah.
49ers, yeah. Thank you.
we'll talk
That
about
Lions
that
game's a
tomorrow
1 o'clock
afternoon.
game.
Yeah, tomorrow after. Well, our game's a 1 o'clock game.
No.
Right.
No, our game is at
4:30.
4:05. 05
405.
on CBS.
I swear to God.
Why
I
does
blame
your
Ted Turner
camera-
for that goddamn shit?
What is up
Why
with
does it
you?
bounce?
What are you? You're just.
If I
green.
Johnson, the Twilight Zone at the moment.
if I tap
He's-
the
he's,
Here.
camera, the camera
he's quantum leaping into this
I
podcast.
mean, it's not just when you hit it either. I don't know what's happening.
yeah, that's what happens, and then it has to refocus, and it does all kinds of camera-y shit.
Oh,
So
goodness.
we have a game at 4:05. Being it's then
We do.
at 4:05. Like I said, I blame Ted Turner for that shit. Fucking TBS with its dumbass. We're going to start everything at 5 past the fucking hour. Has now infected football, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But Scotty, are you going to be around for the post game since it's a late game for you?
Probably not.
You liar. You'll be there. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will.
All right. So for those of you that are wondering, tomorrow, directly after the football game,
Sunday.
give yourself time to
Sunday.
take a leak. and all.
Gosh, you're just
Right,
all over.
Sunday.
the
All right,
place.
it's Friday. I am the world's worst podcast host, and now I've lost my freaking co-host over there. He's just decided up and fucking.
Chelsea's gone.
I'm still
He's
here.
just done one.
He said, "Fuck it,
still
I'm
here.
out of here."
Had to turn the light on.
So,
Get dark.
all right, it's a big game. Everything is a big game. I think that there's a lot of confidence. I think there's a lot of overconfidence maybe in the fan base. Jesse, what do you think of that?
Absolutely.
Start there.
I mean, it seems like people are cashing their tickets in for a fucking Super Bowl run. What's going on here? I mean, we just fucking lost, and
Yeah, we did.
we're still,
You're still pissed.
yeah, of course, yeah. It was a piss poor showing by the defense. There's no way around it. And then we lost one of our strongest pieces on defense. That who knows how that's going to work out, they're definitely going to have to. They're going to have to fucking do something because it wasn't good initially. Now it's going to be probably worse. And we're going up
They
against
signed
a
a
team
guy.
that,
They signed a defensive tackle.
yeah, but it's off the street. I mean, come on, you know, he's off the street of
I
Norfolk.
get it. He's off.
I mean, he was my fucking
He's
neighbor.
off the street of Norfolk. Really?
I think
But,
Jalen Holmes is going to be okay.
But
go ahead, Jesse.
you know,
Finish your thought.
we're in this beef with Chicago Bears fans, right? For this next
Right.
week's game, obviously. And
Right.
the fact of the matter is, people don't realize how good that fucking team is. Caleb
defense is
aside, their defense is fucking amazing, and everybody just needs to calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Take it game by game.
You know who it is that he's talking to. All right, so Scotty, do you have anything you want to add to that? Do you see the overconfidence coming through from the British fan base over there? Which is,
No,
by
I
the
don't.
way, grown by leaps and bounds.
No, I don't see the overconfidence, but I do think that the fan base should be confident in some respects because we've got off to a good start. I'm not saying it's a Super Bowl run, but we should be confident in what we're trying to do against what is a pretty terrible team at the moment. You know, they're 1-5 going into this, and they've conceded what? I don't know. I'm looking at their points now here. I mean, they're conceding points all over the spot. I mean, I have got the statistics here. Let me have a quick look at what they are, if I can find it on my.
I think it's going to say it's shit.
Basically, yeah. So they gave up 47 against the Saints. They gave up 26 against the Chargers. They gave up 22 in a win against the Raiders. They gave up 34, 36, and 38 in the last 3 games, and they've lost all of the last 3 games. Chuba Hubbard is a good running back,
Very good.
but and we'll get into the keys to the victory. But we shouldn't fear this team at all. But it's typical Washington that we could lay a turd when we don't want to do that.
But hopefully, it's not typical Washington no more. That's what we're banking on. That it's not typical Washington no more.
Absolutely,
we can go in there
yeah,
and we should handle business. We should put 40 points up on this team because this defense is fucking horrible. I mean, have you seen their injury report?
Yeah.
It's a fucking half their defensive roster is on that report, and a lot of them are out or questionable or doubtful. So yeah, we should run up and down the field on this team.
All right, real quick before we get too far into it, I have to do this because thank you, Scott. This week's Scott's List brought to you by Sir Rutherford's Fried Eels. Fried Eels by Sir Rutherford. Go down slimy. So, there you go. Anyway, and that will make sure.
I'm not having a poo.
I'll stop you right the fuck on up. All right, anyway. Max, does it matter if fans are overconfident?
No. You know what? Because we don't play the game. The people that play the game.
We should be loud.
Yeah, and I think they will be on Sunday. It's Darrell Green game. It's homecoming.
Of course.
Like I said on Monday, you schedule your cream puffs on homecoming. You know,
We don't schedule this. But
you schedule when your homecoming is.
Sure.
Agreed. Yeah, I know what you mean. And if you're gonna do it at any game on the schedule, and you thought, you know what, let's retire an absolute legends number. This is the game to do it. You know, you don't do it against a game that you could be what is perceived as a trap game or a potential loss. That would be stupid to do that.
You know, all right, my turn, because I'm going to say this.
Go on, John.
This whole homecoming thing was kind of our idea, right? We decided, I don't know what, 15 years ago that we were going to start doing this homecoming, and we'd try to Dan Snyder was going to try to get these guys back in the stadium, and we scheduled the Panthers. I know we didn't schedule them, but we scheduled the homecoming for the Panthers game several times. All right, I'm not going to count how many. I don't know how many it's been, but it's been more than once, and they have spoiled the party several fucking times. So I think in terms of confidence, the fans don't much matter, although the fans should be confident enough to be loud as soon as they get in the stadium and start getting other teams' fans out of the stadium. Not only physically. I mean, we should start selling tickets to our people now. But the team, do you feel any kind of overconfidence coming out of them? I know, Jesse, you watch a lot of the programming. All right. Do you feel anything coming off of them that might lead you to believe that they might be looking past the Panthers, feeling like they had a moral victory last week?
Not at all. I think everybody's been saying and looks like they're doing the right things. The team was upset that they lost, and they should be. And I'm sure they took it to heart. And I think we're going to be fine this week. It's basically the fans that are ones that are overconfident. The team, I think they're going to go into Northwest Stadium and handle business, and I don't think it's going to be that close. It shouldn't be that close, anyways. I mean, you never know. I mean, any given Sunday, shit happens. But they should be confident enough to go in there and win. But I don't think they're taking this team lightly for any reason.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to take anybody lightly because we have seen teams in which we thought we were better than we were. And I mean, I think this time our confidence has a little bit more weight under it. There's a little bit of more foundation rather than, a miracle game by Taylor Heineke here or there. So I guess, Scott, I'll have to throw to you the question. The defense, do you think they're up to the task? Because we have been, you said Chuba Hubbard's name a couple of minutes ago, which I would like to say is one of the more fun names to say in the NFL, especially if you say it with a bit of a rhythm. You just say like Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard. Try it. It's fun. Scott, would you say Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard for the people at home?
Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard. There you go.
Thank you very much.
It's like it was a tongue twister for Brits.
That's right. Chuba.
Peter
Chuba,
Parker picked a pickled pepper, so he did.
All right, so do you think that we're susceptible to the trap game? Andy Dalton
could
is
we
Andy
be?
Dalton.
Yes,
Deontay
but I mean,
Johnson's good.
I'm looking at this here. Dalton's got 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Hubbard's got 485 yards total and only 2 TDs. That tells me immediately between the 20s, they're pretty good. When it gets to the red zone, they're terrible.
Didn't Dalton throw like 3 or 4 of those in his first game?
Maybe. I mean, at the moment,
he had a big game. He had a big game his first game.
The other issue is he's going for 80 yards and 5.3 a carry is what Hubbard's going for at the minute. Now, yes, we have to stop that. Can the defense, back to your question, can the defense step up? Yes, it can. It was good in 2 games against what was not an outstanding offense. Every time we seemingly play either a good defense or we play a good offense, we struggle a bit, which we struggled against Tampa Bay and we lost, and we struggled against, obviously, Baltimore and lost. But don't sleep on them 2 teams. Them 2 teams are great teams in the NFL. Panthers are not a good team.
All of you out there sleeping on the Ravens, spank yourself right now.
No, I know, but I mean, I meant that in the Tampa Bay side. People aren't giving Tampa Bay enough credit this season either. I think they're a good side and are a playoff team.
Right.
For me, I don't think we have any issues with this team on Sunday at all. I think we just continue what we're doing on offense, and we hope that the defense stays as it has been and is a bend don't break defense. It's not ideal. It's not what Jesse wants to see. I want to see better play out of the defense as well. But we can't have everything. We have to play with what we've got on the field, unfortunately.
That's right. So there, Jesse, you can't have everything. Now, Max, you've been trying to say something. Go ahead.
Because just when we are talking about, what the defense is going to give up, what are we looking at in terms of a good performance? Because it's the NFL. You're not going to shut a team out. You're not going to. You're going to give up yards. You're going to give up first downs. But at the same time, when we have played a team at the caliber that the Panthers are this year, we have utterly dominated them. Why are we Why is there any type of fear that we're not going to do the same thing?
You know what? It's the PTSD, I think. I think it's also the fact that our defense has been susceptible. They do have some quality players, Johnson and Hubbard. But I think what Scotty just said means a lot. They rack up a lot of yards between the 20s. They can't get in the end zone. I'm fine with bend but don't break. If that's what the best our defense can do is bend but don't break, okay, don't break. So if they give up 14 points this weekend, I'm all right. We're winning by 20. Jesse, you agree?
Yeah, sure, yeah. But I think that's, I don't know. I don't think. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be that a little bit closer than that. I mean, we have to. If we want to win big, we're gonna have to get a fast start. because if you let them hang around, they're going to be able to run the ball, and they can run the ball. They have a really, really good offensive line, and they paid for it. I think they paid $150 million into their tackles this offseason, and their interior is great as well too. And Chuba Hubbard's amazing. So if we let them stick around,
trash bags they have back there are not getting hit.
If we let them stick around, they're going to be able to run, and then they're going to keep the game close. And obviously we don't want that. But I mean, don't count out the Red Rocket, man. Andy Dalton can still play. I mean,
Red Rifle.
It's the Red Rocket. It will always be the Red Rocket. He is 2 touchdowns away from surpassing Sonny Jurgensen on the all-time leading touchdown list, and then 1,000 yards away from passing, I think, Joe Montana or somebody like that on the all-time yards. Guy can play, so don't let this team stick around. Put your foot on their throat from the first possession and don't look back.
How many touchdowns is he away from Sonny Jurgensen?
I think like 2 or 3. Bram Weinstein was talking about it, Kevin Sheehan was talking about it on his podcast.
Well, I'll tell you what. Then there is absolutely there's your locker room speech. They cannot let that freaking Red Rifle pass Sonny Jurgensen in our stadium on our homecoming.
He's the dog's dick. He's the Red Rocket.
He is the dog's dick. He does look like a dog took a bloody shit on his head. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. But Scott was the one that gave me that idea. Cameron McDonald says, given that we're building for the future, are we better off not winning the division this year to avoid a first-place schedule next season and maybe setting back to our development? That's loser talk, fella. And that's not what we're going to be all about here unless Jesse wants to go ahead and say his...
No, and I think we should get into this conversation in a little bit and talk about what this team should do. Should we sell or be buyers or sellers before the trade deadline? I think that's a good topic we should get in maybe a little bit later after we stop talking about the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can jump there right now because I think that is important. It's the deadline is what, next week? The week after? Something like that?
No, it's November.
It's in a month. It's in.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there was a bullshit report about Max Crosby today, so I'm going to take that completely to heart and say that he's really not happy in Oakland, and I think we should trade a third for him.
Well, I mean, that's what Scouse wanted to do. He wanted to trade a third, but as our buddy Scott G had said, I think it's time to trade Scouse because he seems like he just wants to give every draft pick for every fucking player on the planet.
If I may make a suggestion,
Scouse.
we don't trade Scouse. We sell Scouse for like $7.99 a pound. we clean up.
I think
And he
it costs you a little bit
he
more.
still hasn't won a game on our fantasy league. Just
hasn't.
putting that out there.
No,
I'm gonna try to keep that.
well,
We'll do an update a bit later in the
he had the Saints
fantasy league.
defense last night. So yeah, he got
Wow.
up last night. I know. It's like the fantasy gods, and we're going to pick on Scouse for a minute because this is the pick on Scouse segment of the show. The fantasy gods are just up there looking at Scouse's lineup and going, nope, fuck him too. Nope, not that guy. Fuck him. The dude can't catch him.
I put I saw a tweet. I put it in our chat. It says 2.4% of fantasy owners have not won a game yet, and Scouse is in that 2.4%.
Tell you what, we are amongst a rare breed with Scouse.
Yeah,
I
we
am
are.
proud of that man. I am proud of that man. All right,
But
so
okay,
let's move a little bit more to the game.
Okay, go ahead. I thought you
All
wanted
right,
to get
sorry,
into trade talk.
We can move into trade talk. We can move more into the football game. We can talk about Darrell Green. I don't really care where you want to go. Where's it want to go? I tell you what, we'll just roll the dice and say, Max, where are we going?
I'm fine with trade talk.
So start it off. What do you want to do?
If we're going to do anything, we buy. Frankly, this team is becoming competitive.
How much?
You don't spend. You don't send the house anywhere. You don't buy big, but you buy small. You try and get players that will benefit the roster this year and going forward. Because frankly, we don't know if this team will ever be this good again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you do it,
Right? We've seen that.
do it
before,
while you
the
have
one-year
it.
wonder.
But at the same time,
Go ahead, Max. Finish.
at the same time, if we're going to bank on the fact that it is, why not try and improve? I mean, draft picks, great. If we win the division at default, we're going to be at 18. Woo.
That doesn't matter.
EM says that you can do both. If you can add by subtraction trade, you do it, but you do not give up draft picks. And I'm going to have to disagree with that. Not if Adam Peters and company thinks that we can, there's a shot to make a run. Okay, you do what it takes to get there. Because these opportunities don't always come up, man. You're not always going to have a Tom Brady type of dynasty or a Patrick Mahomes type of dynasty. If they think they're a couple pieces away, say they think they're a cornerback or in a pass rusher away, yeah, you give up draft picks. Now, do you have to go out and get a Max Crosby, a Myles Garrett, and give up a one or two or something like that? No, absolutely not. But you can find pieces to better your team that we have 2 third-round picks. We have multiple sevens. We have 9 picks total. There's no reason why we can't go and get a Greg Newsome, a player to that type of caliber that will upgrade this team. Okay, that's all it is. It's upgraded. And I'm not talking about a 1-year rental. If you want to get a 1-year rental like a Darius Smith,
Darius Slay,
then no. The other Zadarius Smith, the other edge rusher from Cleveland, which would be a 1-year rental. Then you can go and give a 6th-round pick or something like that. Nothing like mid-round. You'd be able to get him for something like that. Because he's probably not going to be on the team next year. But a player like Newsome, you could probably get him for at most a 4th-round pick. I wouldn't give a 1st or 2nd-round pick for anybody. But if there's players out there,
at the same time,
you go get them.
Go ahead.
If you think it will put your team over top and make your defense good enough to compete in the playoffs and potentially, because we have the offense right now, and I'm tired of hearing, go get a receiver. We don't need it right now. We have the best offense in the fucking league, basically.
It's rolling, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
you go and make your defense better. If you have to give up, because a guy, and I'm just using Newsome as an example, you can re-sign him. You can give him an extension. And that's better than a draft pick, because we all know Adam Peters and company are not going to hit on every draft pick. It's not going to happen.
Right. Well, see, the way I look at it is that every single year that there is, you're looking at whether or not you've got a window, because sometimes it opens and closes quick. I'll remind everybody, Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl as a rookie and never went back, and he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So if the window is open, and it's open, I mean, right now it's open, okay? We're 5 games into this, and even though that would be, that's way too early to talk, it doesn't make any difference. Right now we have an opportunity to be 5, and we're 6 games in. We have an opportunity to be 5-2, heading into the midpoint of the season. It's there, all right? We have as much chance as anybody at that point to be able to get to it, all right? So if you can, and I'm with you, Jesse, you don't sell out totally for a 1-year rental that's going to push you over the top. You go for a player like you said that you can get not necessarily so expensively, and that you can build with in the future as well, and take that shot. I don't ever think that you should ever play for draft pick. Never, unless it's like the end of the season, last game of the season, and it's the difference between the 1st and the 5th pick. Then okay, I might.
John, just a quick one. I'm not sure if you're having audio issues, mate, but we can hear you sound and hear you fine on here. But both Burrows and Mike have said that they can't hear you.
Am I down too low?
So
test.
I'm not sure.
And just take the Chicago Bears for example. I mean, they went and gave us what? What did they give us for Montez? What? A 3rd-round pick?
A third.
Yeah.
A 3rd-round pick for a quality player like that, and adding him made that defense a lot better than what it was.
Okay.
Not saying there's a Montez Sweat out there, but there is players out there that could possibly be had, and it wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to give up a huge haul. But if you're going to give up a 3rd-round pick, that's kind of the line that I'm drawing. That player is going to need to, you're going to need to expect to sign him for an extension or take on whatever contract. Maybe he's already got more time on his deal.
You would think that this would be the other way around, Andy Burrows, but that's the way most people feel. I completely lost my train of thought there. Go ahead, Max. Save me.
In the trade market, you're not really going to find players that have more than 1 year left, just because teams don't.
Very true.
In the NFL, you don't typically trade, assets that you have for more than 1 year. That's the whole reason why we traded Montez and Chase at the same time.
Unless people need to get stuff off their books. Look at the freaking Saints, man. They are in cap hell.
The Saints have been in cap hell for years. Every single offseason, they're $50 million over the cap, and then they just redo a bunch of signing bonuses to make it a fit
and go nowhere.
Right, but
still go nowhere.
The Saints
Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on the trade block, and he's got multiple years left.
The Saints are a rowboat with one oar.
The Browns. I mean, Denzel Ward is probably. I would assume. I mean, with all that money sucking up by Deshaun Watson, I mean, he's just a hamstring, but he's still. I think he's playing this
hamstrings
weekend.
Linger.
I don't like hamstrings. They do. They linger.
Oh, who cares, man? They out a couple of weeks. If you would turn up Denzel Ward for a third-round pick, you would be smoking crack.
I like Jonathan Jones at New England. I think he's a good.
He's old though. Get him for
Jonathan
a 7th.
Yeah,
31.
A sixth or a seventh. He's 30, I think, but good player. I mean, Pete Sidorn's put in here. Can you see us going after Reddick? I don't want anything to do with Hassan Reddick. I think his off the field issues, as in the attitude and the ego, is not something that you're going to want through a team that's trying to build cohesion and build a culture. Togetherness is what we can see through this team. I don't want that kind of around the team, despite him being a very good player. There is bits and pieces out here. I think you were right, Max. I think you're also right, Jesse. If Adam Peters and crew see us saying, well, we can get better immediately, and we give up some mid-round or late-round picks, I'm cool with that. I'm okay. You got to trust what they're doing to do that. And as you said, to your point, Jesse, you're not always going to hit on every draft pick. It's very rare that you do hit on draft picks, but you want at least maybe 2 or 3 of your draft picks to become starters, and if you do that, you've done really well. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting trade deadline. I think there are more buyers than we are sellers, depending on how we go in the next 2 weeks. If we win these 2 games, and we've got 2 more wins under our belt, and we're at 6 wins, I think there's a genuine shot that we go at the trade deadline and say we're going to do something.
But
I mean, buyers or sellers, I'll be happy. Go ahead, Max. Finish
and
up
with that,
this part.
if we are a buyer, do you think that edge or corner is a bigger need?
Both. But corner's probably more of a need.
You
Flip a
see
coin.
whichever one you get the best deal on.
See, I would think edge. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
I would just say that I think edge is the bigger need, just because an edge rusher can make a corner better.
I understand where you're coming from.
You're right.
I mean, Dorrance Armstrong has been playing really, really good, especially the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, but there's 2 edges.
What's his injury status? What was his
out.
status after last week?
He's out.
He's okay. All right, so our good friend Andy Burrows, by the way, anytime we say Andy Burrows, we do get paid. His agency has made sure of that. We're going to make sure that we say Andy Burrows quite a bit, because riding Andy Burrows' coattail is something that Andy Burrows suggests that Andy Burrows' friends do. So that's got to be making us at least $100 right there. He's got a good question. Hey, $1.25 is all right by me. With what you have seen so far this season, if we don't make the playoffs, is it a failure? Hang on a minute. Well, I forgot something here. We've got to say about Andy Burrows. So he's going to say, oh, right, with what you've seen so far this season, if we don't make the playoffs, is it a failure? So what do you think? Scott, we'll go with you first. Is it a failure if we don't make the playoffs? We're 4-2.
Yes.
All right. You want to expand
As in,
on
no, yeah, I do. No, I think if we don't make the playoffs, I think this division is terrible. I think that 3 of the teams in our division will have different head coaches next season, and one of them, and it's not Washington. Thank God. I think all 3 will lose their coaches at the end of the season. I mean, Dayball might be okay, but the other 2 are a shit show. And I mean, one of them's fighting with his own fans.
fact.
The other one can't. The other one can't see straight and has no idea what he's doing. He's ordering off a menu rather than reading a playbook. But no, they're both terrible. And I don't think I think if we're in this division, especially if we don't make the playoffs now, there's a problem. I don't think you have. I'm not saying we'd have a losing record, but it might even be that we could have a losing record and still make the playoffs out of this division.
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
gonna disagree
If I
with
owned
that.
this here podcast, I'd fire every goddamn one of you just like I fired those boys at the radio station. Cheerio.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that a little bit. I mean, Philly could still pull it together. They're so talented on both sides of the ball. That team is, and
Not
if
playing
they
as a
do
team, Jesse.
wind up, not right now, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen all season.
I know.
And nobody expected us to make a serious playoff run. And the point of this season was just finding the quarterback. And no matter, I'm not sold on us winning double-digit games. And if we don't, the quarterback is the only thing
schedule's
that
favorable,
matters. And we found it.
The schedule is
Maybe.
favorable.
I mean, it's still early,
is.
man. It's still
Sure
early.
it is. And it's just as early for everybody else. But one of the most key aspects is we don't even get on a plane again until December. You know, we've got very few miles to travel to actually do our job and play these football games. And that takes a lot out of a team when you're doing a lot of travel, and we just don't have to do it. So I honestly, if we get to the point where we are at 5-2, 6-2, yeah, it would be a disappointment to not make the playoffs. It would be a missed opportunity. I would then really fucking start to wonder what the hell's going on here, because I have seen Norv Turner take 7-1 and turn it into 8-8, and that was.
I mean, injuries could pile up. You never know.
That was an eye opener.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but that's something that you can't control.
Like
That's
you
something that
said,
you can't
which
control.
I'm still blaming this on you, John. It's all your fault when the injuries started hitting because you just couldn't keep your mouth shut. But you never know what's going to happen. You know, God forbid something happens.
It's a game of attrition. It sure is.
To our offense, and Jaden doesn't have all his weapons, then sure, you can't, some things you can't overcome.
No matter what, at the point when we're talking about speculating for the future, you have to look at it as if it's going to be everybody as they are now. Everybody's going to lose pieces during the season, and you're right. Injuries are one of the biggest keys to teams that make it to the playoffs. Sure. And then eventually get to the Super Bowl. But, quarterback too. But the fact of the matter is, when you're looking at it at this stage, for what Andy's question is would it be a disappointment? If everything stays equal, I mean, relatively, yeah, it would be. It would be. At this stage.
I just don't know if we're going to get enough wins. I just don't know if we're going to get enough wins. And that's because of the defense, man. That's my main thing.
How many wins do you think it'll take to win this division? 9? 10?
I could see 10. I don't think
Philly is right now.
Do you not see 6 more opponents that we can beat?
The defense is going to have to play a hell of a lot better than what they did last week.
Last week is a genuine contender.
And we're also
Hall of
playing
Famers
top offense
quarterback
in the league.
and running back.
You're so hung up on the fact that we gave up points last week. We gave up points to the number 1 offense in the league.
We lost by a touchdown. Right.
And we're also, we still on our offense when we play better defenses, it's that we're not scoring 30, 40 points a game.
You're right.
I'll say this in Jesse's favor on this particular point. In fantasy football, every guy that plays us, every freaking fantasy expert is like, put him in your lineup, put him in your lineup. Every wide receiver, every running back, put him in your lineup, put him in your lineup, because we can't stop anybody. And that's why we play that bend but don't break. We're back to this again about bend but don't break and whether or not we're satisfied with that. And it's just the only way that we're going to be able to do it. I mean, we knew coming in, we're not going to be able to fix anything, all the things that we have to fix. And like you said, from the outset, it's been about the quarterback. This is icing. This is gravy, right? But when the
that's
brass rings
it,
in front of you reach
that's what we've been saying for months now.
every defense in the NFL is a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah, it does.
You
I
don't.
mean,
You don't have a
looking at-
shutdown defense anymore.
I'm looking at this here in the
Nah,
chat, and Scott
offense is-
G saying,
yeah, it's geared for offense.
Philly can win 11 games. It's not guaranteed. I mean, they're
can.
3-2. Yes, they're a game back.
They're
But
one game
seriously,
back.
I know they're one game back. But you're sitting here saying you can't see 6 wins. What are you not looking at here? We're playing some
to task
terrible
by the
teams.
Browns. Right.
We are
they got
playing
took
some
to
terrible teams this season. I am more than confident looking at this schedule that we can win 6 more games. Genuinely.
Remember
I
that
am.
question
For
earlier,
the
like,
first time.
in the beginning of the podcast?
Yeah, okay. I'm eating. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Who gives a shit? I want us to win football.
Do you not think
This-
they're
I'm
this is a
enjoying
week to week.
Sundays.
Jesse? Do you think they're going to beat Carolina,
Yes.
Yes.
Chicago?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely not. No,
You don't
Yes.
think we're going to beat Chicago?
No,
I
I
do.
Don't.
Wow.
We'll talk next week.
Y'all think Chicago is a bad team. They are not a bad team.
No, they've
Y'all
got a
are
good
crazy.
they've got a good defense.
They got a
but
great
They have a good
defense, and they've got a
They
really,
have a
really
defense
good
that takes
offense,
the ball.
which their quarterback is
Yeah,
now
really
playing at a really on the same level as Jaden Daniels right now.
No,
That
he's
is past
not.
3 weeks.
He
is.
He did that
Please look at
against
the stats.
Jacksonville.
He did
Let's
against
be real
Jacksonville and
about that.
Carolina. You're looking at it in
Yeah.
you can't. You can't
Okay, what did we do it? What did we do it as?
You're right.
What,
Sorry,
what did we do it
But
as?
you're saying that
Well, I
we're
mean,
They're
bad
going to do
because
whatever
we're
they want
good.
on
You're saying
offense
they're
against
good.
us. They're going to do
now,
whatever they want on
Philadelphia.
offense against us, and they have a much better defense. Yes, we're losing
Do
that
you
game.
think our defense?
100%.
All right, well,
do you think our
we're not
defense
going
is
to even
worse
talk
than
about that game
Jacksonville?
right now.
What?
Do you think our defense is worse than Jacksonville's?
Fuck yes. Our defense is the worst defense in the league by far.
No way.
By far.
Jesse, what are you
By
on, dude?
far. By far. It's the worst defense in the league.
Absolutes is where we are with that. In terms of
By far.
the
I
Panthers,
can't believe you guys are so. Take the glasses off. Take the burgundy
It's not a
colored
matter of
glasses off.
It's a
Yes,
matter
it
of,
is.
I can
That's crazy
expect
talk.
you don't even know what the talk is being. I would
So
expect
it's
that the
thinking
Panthers
that we have
tomorrow-
a better defense than the freaking Jags.
It's not about whether we have a better defense.
So you want to go with
the
Jesse?
Jags. The Jags are looking at the first pick real seriously, and they couldn't stop Caleb Williams last week. When, by the way, I'll have to pull up this video and show you Caleb Williams last week. Yes, he had a great day against a bunch of really Division II players, but
What do you think
when it
we
comes to-
have?
well, I mean, I think he's got a
Especially
little
on
bit
the
better than
back
that.
end. And now we
I
got
think we
people
got-
off the street in our defensive line. Come on now. Our defense
He's
is
a rotational
bad.
player coming in.
Yeah, it's
Our
bad,
defense
but it's
is
not
awful.
the worst. It's not the worst
Yeah, it
in the
is.
league.
Yeah,
No
it is.
way.
Yeah, it is.
You
It's
need to
bad.
watch more. You want to watch. You need to watch other teams because Jacksonville's
Did
defense
you not see
is
the
shocking.
Saints last night, dude?
Saints is shocking.
You got carved
Oh,
up by Bo Nix.
Colts'
were
defense
terrible.
is quite bad. Who else's defense is?
The
poor?
Rams are
Thinking of it.
awful.
Rams' defense.
I'll take all those defenses over ours. All of them.
Behave.
Well, okay.
I think we're probably around about 28th ish
Where's
defense.
my shit here? Where's my shit here? I'm sorry, I've lost my.
I would
video.
take every defense in the league over ours. And I'm not even playing whatsoever. I would rather have any other defense in the league than ours. That's how bad we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we never claimed to be a smart podcast. We are fans, and Jesse's obviously
true.
had a few. It's
very true.
I'm just teasing with him because this is how he is.
It's hopeless. We'll never make it. Never. We're done for.
I think the defense is good enough, even with Billy Blow that just got signed the other day, to be able to go out on our home field on Darrell Green Day and hold it down enough and play bend but don't break. I could see a game where the Panthers could rack up 350, 370 yards between the 20s and score twice. Am I off?
No.
Not really. No, with
I
Chuba
think they're
Hubbard
gonna
doing
score more
80
than 20.
yards.
Do you think they're going to score more than 20?
If the Panthers
Yeah.
score more than 20, I'll buy you a jersey of your choice.
Okay,
Mark
I'm
speaking
gonna
of
keep
this,
you. I'm gonna keep you to that.
It's fine.
I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
keep you to
I'm
that.
gonna-
So,
fine.
see, when they score less than 20, what are you going to do for Scott?
Not a damn thing.
Wow.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
Scott's
That's what y'all are doing
in
as team. You think everybody thinks we're better than what we really are, man.
they're not scoring
I don't
20
know.
points on us. Come on, man.
Well,
Seriously?
even if they do,
You have
even if
that.
they do,
You
I think-
really have that much faith in this defense, man.
No,
you
I
gotta
think
have
You
your
have
head
that
checked.
much faith in the Panthers' offense. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Did you
By
not
the way,
read that
the Panthers'
earlier?
offense-
Andy Dalton
the
has
Pan-
7 TDs and 4 interceptions, and Hubbard only has 2 touchdowns all season.
How many passing TDs does Jaden Daniels have?
4, but how many rushing
4?
touchdowns does he have?
I mean, that's one
many
less
rushing
touchdown.
touchdowns?
That's
we keep
and Dalton's
scoring.
played one less game.
How many
Come on
rushing
now.
does he have?
Yeah, I know, but
What
Dalton
does
also
that
got,
have to do with
like I said,
anything?
Dalton
We're
got-
talking
Dalton
about
got
one
like 3
touchdown.
We're
It's
talking
one
about
touchdown.
Dalton got 3 or 4 of those touchdowns. Okay, so now we have entered the territory of Jaden Daniels is having an Andy Dalton-like season. All right, well, yeah, okay. All right,
Y'all are trying
I'm
to
gonna
do the
show you.
comparisons. I just brought up the touchdown count.
Well, yeah, but
He's got
Andy Dalton
six,
threw
he's
like
got six,
I swear to God,
6 TDs and 2 interceptions.
I would tell you this.
Okay.
Look at Andy
This is a
Dalton's
team that's averaging
first game. I bet you
17
four of those
points a game.
4 of those touchdowns were there. So this was something
And
Max turned me on
he's
to
got
this week.
4
Greg,
rushing touchdowns.
Greg Olsen, former Carolina Panther, Greg Olsen, the walking glass of milk. He really is. He's a fucking piece of white bread with legs, and he
What's your name? G-Reg. What you do? Get head. How you do? Drop my drawers and let us see my third leg. Chillin' on the 7th floor. I gotta let these chickens know. Big Greg is in the house and I finna make these hoes choke. On my balls, on my dick, then I'm bustin' up quick. On the face, on the chest, stick my dick between the breasts. Come on, fellas, let's get weird. Stick your dick up in the ear while I'm laughing at these guys. A second nut all in the eyes. That's how we do it, son.
That is not
There you
actually
go. There's
Greg Olsen,
Fox
is it?
broadcaster. That's Greg Olsen.
No way.
And he's doing that. He does that for the microphone, but if he's actually getting head, he looks down and he goes,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
So,
sorry. I'm
Scott.
sorry. I messed up your hair.
Scott,
So there you
Greg
go,
Olsen
Greg
went to
Olsen.
the University of Miami. And at that time, when he went to the University of Miami, there was the 7th floor crew, as he says. And, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
what
sure
they
he did
would
do those kinds of things. Sure. I'm sure he did do those
Greg
kinds of
Olsen
things.
was there the same time as, Kellen Winslow, who look at him now.
He's in prison.
For what?
would
Do you remember
say-
for what?
Yeah, he busted into some woman's house and raped her, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a lunatic. Greg Olsen, I would say the thing that he told me in that video, the more than anything, is that he can't hold back, man. He busted up really quick, and I mean, dude, you don't want to sing about that.
Right in an eye, too.
In an eye. Jesse, what do you think of this? You think we can't beat the team that has that kind of? What's that?
I never said we were losing this game. I said this.
okay.
Our defense is going to put up
really?
points. Their offense is. Our defense is going to give up points.
Oh,
Okay.
we will. Undoubtedly.
So,
We're
all
not
right.
going to hold them to a 0 burger.
All right, so let's get some keys to this game. Since we're coming to a consensus here that we all think we're going to win the game. Give me a key, Jesse, that we're going to win this game.
Got to make them one-dimensional, and doing that is by starting off and just scoring basically every drive. So they make them have to throw the ball, because we don't want them to stay in this game to have Chuba Hubbard. Get Chuba Hubbard really involved, because that's how they will kill us. Is letting them run the ball. So if we make them one-dimensional, make them pass, we can hopefully make them give up some. Third downs and make some third down stops and turnovers, yeah. Because Andy Dalton will put the ball in harm's way. He's done that pretty much his whole entire career. But Andy Dalton can, he can get hot. And so if we just keep scoring, because we can keep scoring. We've done it before, especially when we're playing bad teams. We won't see Chuba Hubbard that much. And that's the only threat, I think, on that team is Chuba Hubbard. And Deontay Johnson's a really good pass catcher too.
He's just held back by his quarterback and whatever Andy Dalton decides to show up that week. Scotty, give me a key to the game.
Yeah, to back up Jesse's point there, I think we need to play the Cardinals playbook again. We gave up yards to James Conner, and we can do exactly the same with Chuba Hubbard, but make them one-dimensional, long drives, time of possession, hold the ball, and score 7 rather than 3 when you're on your drives. 8-minute drives is what I want to see, so you're giving them less time on the field, and the defense can be better because it's better rested. If the defense is constantly on the field, we're going to have problems. We are going to have problems.
Max.
Just run the damn ball. We're one of the best rushing teams in the league. Just if Brian Robinson plays, just put him up, give him the horse, get on and ride him.
Yeah, is he going to play? How do we did he practice today?
Yeah, I think so. He was full today and yesterday.
No, he wasn't. He was limited.
He'll be all right.
But
even if
I have the injury report up,
as long as he plays. Yeah, please give me the injury report.
So for us, Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Owens are out. Clellan Farrell,
What's up with Tyler Owens? He hasn't played yet since like week 2.
He's got a shin.
Oh, he's got a shin.
Who's got a toe? I saw someone with a toe injury that popped
Frankie
up.
Louvu, I think.
Frankie Louvu has a toe.
Okay, that's right.
He DNP'd yesterday,
but he went today.
Yes.
That's who I was thinking of.
Farrell, Robinson, and McGee are all questionable. Now for the Panthers.
Okay. That's list
I'd
is
like to see
fucking a
play.
mile long, mainly on defense.
And there's another reason.
All right. Ashawn
we'll
Robinson, defensive end, are out. John Radigan, linebacker, out. Taylor Moton, tackle, out. Josie Jewell, linebacker, out. Claudin Cherilus, linebacker, out. Running back Jonathan Brooks, out. Jadeveon Clowney, doubtful. Jaden Crometti, doubtful. Sam Franklin Jr., doubtful. Do I need to go over the questionables?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I think
most of their defense is gone. I was listening to a couple of the Panthers podcasts, and
so if most of their defense is gone, then why are you worrying about the points that we're going to score? This is what I'm saying. We're going to be so far.
Who's worrying about points scored? I know we're going to score points. I'm talking about giving up points because of our defense. Terrible.
When you're so far ahead, does it matter?
I think we're going to score 40 points. I do. Honestly, I think we're going to score every time we have the ball.
And that's my key to the game: score. Just fucking score. Keep the
let's
pressure
break out
on
the
them. Well, no, thank you, man. If you score more than your other team, you'll win the game.
Key to the game.
No, but I'm serious. We have the What I mean is, if you can, even if we just kick a field goal here and there, man. If we could score like we are capable of scoring on every drive, this is something that's not beyond the realm of possibility with this team. Keep the pressure on them, and like you say, Andy Dalton will fish it up for you. He'll throw that sumbitch up for you. So, all right,
that's my whole thing is just keep the ball out of Chuba Hubbard's hand, and everything's going to be perfectly fine. X factor. I'm going to go. Are we doing offense or defense or what?
You start it. Go ahead.
I don't care.
All right, we'll do defense.
Yeah, go ahead. You pick it.
We'll do defense. And I think Joe Witt kind of gave it a little bit away in his press conference. I think we're going to blitz a lot, and Frankie Louvu is going to be my X factor.
I'm just getting the Big and Boss book out, and I'm writing in John Taman on the 18th of the 10th, 2024 said, score. That's how you win the game.
Thank you.
Fuck
Thank you. You're welcome.
Max, you saw where I was going.
To tell you that. Today's Scott's list of the week brought to you by Sir Arnold's Anal Rub. To cure that itch, make sure you get Sir Arnold's Anal Rub. Available at your local druggist. Anyway, so Jesse, we're going to give me an X factor. Your druggist. Your pharmacist.
Is that like a chemist?
Louvu, he disappeared a little bit last week, and we should expect him to have a better game this week.
Get it at your local biologist. How about that? Go get it from your physicist. So Frankie Louvu is your X factor. That's a good one. X factor. Scott, give me an X factor for the game. Defense.
Defensive X factor. I'm going to go Johnny Newton. He has to step up big time and fill the void from Jonathan Allen. But I do think the injury to Jonathan Allen means that Jerome Payne will have a massive impact now. It's almost like the shackles are off.
Okay. Max, X Factor.
I'm going to say Jeremy Chin because we're going with former Panthers.
All right. Yeah, man. Him and Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, that's a good call.
In mind. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead also and say X Factor with Frankie Louvu because something I was reading today, which I can't quote nearly well enough to be able to say what I'm actually thinking, but some of these people are seeing identical things that they would see out of Micah Parsons when the Cowboys would run him the way that they were running away, when Joe Witt and Dan Quinn would run him that way. So they're starting to use him in more of those things, and I want to see more of it. I want to see him take Andy Dalton and take that little toilet swirl of a fucking haircut of his and stick it up his ass. He looks like he has a goddamn strawberry Hershey's Kiss on his fucking head, and I want you to put it point first right up his fucking dupa.
Well, now we know.
That's why I call him the
Red
Rocket. Another thing on Frank Louvu that I learned today or yesterday on the Brian Weinstein show is because they had one of the reporters for the Panthers on is that they offered Frankie more money to stay in Carolina, but he really wanted to play with Dan Quinn, so he came here and took less money, which I think is pretty cool.
I think we remember. That is pretty cool, and he should tell them all to go fuck themselves while he's out there kicking around the head of Andy Dalton. All right, give me an offensive X factor. We'll start with you, Max.
Austin Eckler.
He's going to
get going with his receiving as a running back because this team is awful against running backs.
Mm-hmm. All right, what about you, Scott?
Offensive X factor. I'm going to go with the offensive line. No. Mm-hmm. Terry probably. Don't know. To be honest, I'm that confident in this game. I don't really care. I'm just this for me is an absolute dead rubber.
What?
A dead rubber.
A dead rubber, which means you
guys think some pretty weird things are cool.
To win this without even.
I got another one after.
If I have a dead rubber, I'm apologizing to my wife.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean.
I'm still kind of blown away by a dead rubber. All right,
I'm in the same lines as Max, but I'm gonna take Brian Robinson Jr. I think this run game's going to rock and roll. I think we can probably put 250 yards rushing on this team.
I think our game plan is going to revolve around both him and Eckler. My X factor is going to be Jaden Daniels. Man, continue to play well, continue to protect the ball, continue to protect yourself, but play your game, and which is what he's been doing. And what I've really been excited about watching him do what he's been doing is he doesn't get away from himself. He doesn't get too far ahead of himself and do dumb shit. So,
John, why did you go Jerry Springer there? Just to protect yourself and each other.
I don't know what happened.
He just went all Jerry Springer on us there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Yeah, well done.
And another shout out. Another shout out, X Factor, and Brian said it in the chat too, is Luke McCaffrey. I think Cliff Kingsbury has spoken very highly of him, and I think this is a good game to get him involved in. I'm going to put a parlay in for a touchdown.
X Factor.
Or I might do a single one. It's going to be like plus 300, but I think Luke McCaffrey can be an X Factor too in this game.
All right. X Factor, don't do this shit.
Third and long situation, and he's got to hold it. You see him trying to drop to the sidearm, throwing it off the face mask of his offensive lineman right there.
That right there is a guy who's playing as good as Jaden Daniels.
That's right. That's a guy that's fucking got MVP written all over him there. Look at that.
We all make mistakes.
So, he did have a good game after that after that he got a couple of shots to a wide open fucking Cole Kmet running down the middle of the field. Okay.
Right. I mean, how many receivers are wide open when gets balls from us?
He had a nice
very true
throw to DJ Moore. I will say that he made a nice throw to the outside to DJ Moore. He made some nice throws, but
situation and he's got to hold it. You see him trying to.
So
you're gonna offensive tackle right there. Shouldn't have been there.
Right. I hate to say this, Caleb, but that's an ineligible receiver, and those are not his hands.
But all right, by the letter of the law, that should have been a
illegal touching,
personal foul.
Illegal touching
on that too. but a personal foul on the defense. 'Cause I think a defender came by and smacked him on the.
Third and long situation, and he's got to hold it. You see it trying to drop to the sidearm, throwing it off the face mask of his offensive lineman right there. But those are the situations.
Well, that was
hit the back of his helmet.
Josh Allen. That's Josh Allen. He did hit with the crown of the helmet there.
No, he doesn't go by Josh Allen no more. He goes
Heinz Allen.
yeah.
Heinz Allen.
Heinz Allen.
Heinz Allen. Heinz
Yeah,
Allen.
because he said he was getting confused with the quarterback, Buffalo.
Okay. And since Heinz Ward is retired, I guess he felt safe to go with that. I don't know. You want to be not confused with Josh Allen? Call yourself fucking sardine shit or something like that. Nobody will ever confuse you again with Josh Allen. All right, let's get some score predictions. Max, we'll start with you. What do you think is going to happen in this game on Sunday?
45-10.
45-10, and I'm assuming you're making you're saying the Commanders?
Yeah, just 45-10 Commanders.
45-10 Commanders. All right, so Scotty, what about you?
I've got 38-13.
38-13. You've got it. You've got it written down over there. I guarantee he does. It's written down. Scott's list of the week. There it is, written down for everybody to see. I don't have another sponsor written down, so I can't tell you who sponsored that particular small list by Scott. All right, Jesse, give me a score prediction.
I got 41-23.
After all of that, we're going to give up 23 points.
Hey, it's over 20.
You've been fucking throwing punches at everybody the whole damn show for 23.
What was yours, Max? 45-10, did you say?
All right, I'm going to go with 37-13. All right, they're going to get
37.
2 field goals. Yep, 37-13. Why? Is there something wrong with 37?
You always go with the weird numbers, just like the Cynthia Freeland.
What's 37?
Like
It's gonna be 12.
Y'all been blaming me for doing that. Y'all are blaming me for doing that.
4 touchdowns and 3 field goals. It's not that hard to calculate. 4 touchdowns and 3 field goals, right?
Yes, you're right, but just like
there we go. That's why we call him the mathematician, because it took him less time than the rest of us to figure out that simple math equation.
Y'all usually blame me for doing this, Cynthia Freeland.
Let me ask you this.
Score prediction.
Do you, when I do math in my head, all right, when I'm looking at numbers, if I can equate it to a football score, I can do the math quicker.
Yes.
If I can equate it to touchdowns and field goals, I can do the math quicker.
I've been doing that as long as I can remember.
Yeah, football math.
This is why they're building a fucking playground where that tree is. You know, that's exactly what's been happening here. Jesse did the math and was like, we'll put the playground right here on Mrs. Jones's tree. All right. Darrell Green. This is it. We're gonna retire Darrell Green's number. Now, last year they did a ceremony for Sonny, right? They retired his number
against Dallas, right?
All right, yeah, we got smoked. But all right, so 33, 9, and now 28 have been retired officially by the team, or 28 will be on Sunday. Is that correct? That's it.
Yeah, and
that's the only one.
21.
All right,
21.
21 has it been officially retired?
Yes,
I know it's we have a long-standing list of nobody gets this number.
Maybe then.
A few
I
of them on there.
don't know.
44, 81. You know, nobody's getting those numbers. 21, nobody's getting that one. All right, so Darrell Green.
Sorry, we missed one. We missed one for Bobby Mitchell.
Oh, Bobby Mitchell was retired?
So 33, 9, 49,
that's right. They did
21.
that just 2 years ago, I think. They brought Bobby Mitchell in and retired his number. That's great. All right.
And Sean's number has been formally retired by the team.
Okay. So there we go. We got a few. All right. Look, Max, you don't remember Darrell Green, but you've seen enough video. Scott, I don't know what your memories of Darrell Green are. I remember his whole career. Jesse was in the stadium for the entire 1991 season. So I figured, since it's Darrell Green Day, and you guys are blessed with an old guy here on the show that actually saw him play, which is a lot of podcasts don't, I can tell you, he's a hero. All right, in terms of not just as a Redskin, but as a person. That guy he lived the Joe Gibbs. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mantra.
No. He was the ideal player for Joe Gibbs. He was good at what he did, for one. He worked hard at what he did to keep himself that good. He was a humble man. He was a good man that did good things in the community, and he was just an all-around great person that could play phenomenal football. But
Faith football family. That's Darrell
right.
Green in a nutshell. Or Faith family football.
That's Darrell Green. That's right. And me, I'm not a faithful person. I'm not a faithful person, but I can respect people that live by it, and I think Darrell Green does. So, look, Jesse, do you have a favorite play?
Oh man, there's so many.
Threw you on the spot there, didn't I know.
Probably his.
I know mine.
The final season, where he got the interception, that got him to an interception every. Who was it against? Was it 19 years running, or 20? It was 19 or 20 years straight. Interception in each season. That was very memorable. And also, during his rookie year, when he basically what was it, Dorsett that he ran down? And then Eric Dickerson as well.
That was an.
Then he broke his rib.
The punt return.
On the punt return. That's probably the most
he did
famous.
Worse than break it. Yeah.
He tore like the cartilage and everything.
Yeah, that was against the Bears. Yeah. He pulled the cartilage away from the bone when he did that jump cut. This was in the playoffs against the Bears on a frozen frickin' day. The Bears at that time were the baddest team around, and that punt return was deep in the fourth quarter. Man, Joe Gibbs just threw him back there and said, "Go try to do it," and he did. And it was awesome as shit. But see, Max laughed when you said the Tony Dorsett run. Max, why did you laugh?
Because that's your least favorite play.
I hate that fucking play. I hate that fucking play. Everybody looks at that play and goes, "Look at Darrell Green," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a 75-yard fucking run." Look, Jesus Christ! Yes, we caught him, but God damn it, we lost the game, and we gave up a 75-yard run. Yeah, that I always look at that. It's a good thing to show the feat of what he did, but it's a bad play.
At one time, our cornerbacks were Darrell Green, Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey, and Fred Smoot, just coming in as a rookie. Now that was a room full of knowledge,
That was
even though Deion was
well, no,
pretty much.
I'll tell you, no, he wasn't, and I'll tell you why. This is something that because people always say Deion came in here and just stole our money and left and laughed, right? Well, he did kind of leave and laugh because that's who he is, but he
kind of had one foot out the door.
Our pass defense the year before was atrocious. You can go look these numbers up. They were like 31st in the league. That year, they were 4th in the league. Okay, Bruce Allen came in. He played well. LeVar Arrington came in, played
Bruce
well.
Smith.
Deion Sanders. Bruce Smith. Did I say Bruce Allen?
You did.
Okay, Bruce Allen. Sorry. Bruce Smith.
Bruce Allen came in and did so good.
Yeah, he did so well. Bruce Smith came in. He played all right. We gave up 4 touchdowns that year to wide receivers. 4. So Champ Bailey, I don't think, gave up any. And it was just, they were very good. Deion, everybody, they remember that he got hit in the face with a punt. Remember that? The ball came down, bounced right off his fucking face mask. But then another one, he took it all the way down to like the 2, and they caught him. I couldn't believe it. They caught him. But he was getting ready to do his little thing. So Deion, he wasn't the greatest signing of our team, but he wasn't the worst either. He performed while he was here.
I mean, he wasn't an Albert.
God, no, he wasn't. You got any Darrell Green memories? You got any Darrell Green thoughts?
I don't think he was a fan when Darrell Green played for this team.
I wasn't at all, and to be honest with you, I had no idea. Obviously, I've watched his highlights back. I've watched key memorable plays, and it's right that we should do this. I'm glad that he's getting his jersey retired. It's long overdue. We know that, and it's great that he is involved in the team at the moment. So, you know what I mean? He wasn't doing that under the previous ownership for obvious reasons. Now it seems that this ownership group is doing the right thing. On this, though, I know I want to get away from Darrell Green, but on this, there was a question from Burrows there saying who would potentially be 10 years down the line plus.
Did he really just say Terry?
I mean, in
Retire
Ring of Honor, maybe.
Yeah, possibly, but not
retiring jerseys.
If Terry stays with the team, all right, and continues on this pace for another 2 years or so,
he's going to have to win a Super Bowl.
Santana Moss did win a Super Bowl, and he every bit deserves the Ring of Fame.
Oh, he's not going to get his jersey retired. Jersey
retired and Ring of Fame. They're two different things. Ring of Fame and right. Jersey retired, you better win Super Bowls.
Santana Moss hasn't even got in the Ring of Fame.
No, I mean he would be the next one. Him. Then you got Trent Williams when he finishes his career.
Kerrigan should go in.
Kerrigan, agreed.
Yeah. Kerrigan, I would. If Trent goes in, that was like that day we were at the stadium last year, and they had
that might rub some people the wrong way, including myself.
Dude, we were at the stadium last year. Remember they brought Champ Bailey out? Hey, everybody, Champ Bailey, the Redskin. And like, no, you're not. You're a fucking Bronco. What the hell are you doing here? So yeah, Trent, you go get your name over there in San Francisco, as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
Yeah. Kerrigan, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it.
That's the way I feel about it too. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I mean, like Art Monk, he played his final years as a Jet and an Eagle, but it wasn't the same thing, right? It wasn't like he had an extended career while he was there. He played out his last 2 years. Dexter Manley, too, out in Arizona. Gary Clark in Arizona. Dexter again in Tampa Bay. So
I can understand where you're going with that, because I look at Kerrigan and the same thing. He just looked ridiculous in an Eagles uniform.
Yeah, but it
was the kind of same thing with Brian Mitchell when he left too. But I mean, he went and played with Philly and fucking New York,
and he did it on purpose. All right, Brian Mitchell when he left town, because he was pissed at Dan Snyder, and he took it out on the fans. He said we were nothing but a bunch of front running bitches, and every time he came back here, he said in any interview, "Oh, I can't wait to come back to just shove one in their face." Which, okay, I get it. You're Brian Mitchell and you're Mr. Alpha, and that's good for ticket sales and all that kind of shit like that. But dude, and then you come back here and
think about Brian Mitchell. He was never really he was never a running back one, man. He talks all this shit how great he was, and yes, he was a good, great kick return, great, right, the best there ever was besides Hester.
Yes,
and I would argue
he was a great Redskin. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
he belongs in the Ring of Fame.
Sure, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I think.
I'd agree.
But I do not consider him a real legend of this team.
No, he's
that he thinks he is. That he thinks he is.
Like Lamar. I'll throw a name, and then y'all won't even know who I'm talking about. But Lamar Parrish, he's like that to me. Great name, great player, but just didn't quite. So, but Darrell Green, on the other hand, is an icon, and he does deserve every bit. So if you're going to the game on Sunday, be loud, be proud, all right? And when whoever it is that has the microphone is screaming at you, when she gets to the part where she says, that's when you fucking make it so loud.
Apparently they fixed
that. I hope so, because that's just the worst. Bounce that stadium up and down for Darrell Green. All right, cool. So, what do we got left?
I've got a quick piece of bluster real quick while we pull up fantasy.
Give me some bluster. Go ahead.
Ricky Pearsall is going to play this week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good for him.
Good for him.
The 49ers receiver was shot in the chest in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max, can you pull that up? Because I'm recording on my phone and I can't get to it without closing out.
All right. To the punk that shot him. Look, your dude walked to the fucking ambulance. You punk ass.
Yeah, you missed.
He shot him right in the chest, and Ricky Pearsall said, "Fuck you," and walked to the ambulance.
It's like,
all right. So here we go.
Get a job and stop robbing people.
Well, he's got a job now. I understand he's pressing license plates, or he's working in the laundry. So it's the Yanks versus Wanks. Yanks versus Wanks update. So Scotty liked that one.
Starting right now, I am playing Scouse. Scouse, unfortunately, started the Saints defense yesterday. Oh. And currently has a 2-0 lead over me.
Oh.
How did he get 2 points?
I don't know.
Saints defense.
Did they get a sack?
I think they got a sack, probably.
Scouse scores
got a
points
fumble
off of
recovery.
a sack.
Did you see that Chase? Did you see that that
Chase
one
Young
play?
getting thrown?
Chase Young got
Unbelievable.
it was like it was so bad. Oh my god, it was so bad.
Our buddy Yam is playing our other pal Tony Wheat. Scotty has a bye week. He's
He
playing
does.
Toothpick.
Oh.
Yeah, but Toothpick's got all his players in there.
Did
Chase,
Toothpick
there
set
he
his
goes.
lineup?
Yeah.
He did. Holy cow. Yeah, but
Chase-
he's starting
Chase-
Charbonnet and Braylon Allen. I mean, we've got, let's see, our pal Mark is taking on Jesse. Jesse's
Charbonnet and Braylon Allen.
is who
Yeah,
Toothpick has as running backs.
The
You know, his bench has got
Alvin
some running
Kamara
backs
did
on it.
not
They're
do
all
me
hurt.
no favors.
He didn't
Alvin
do any
Kamara did
favors
not
at
do me
all.
no favors.
And then lastly, my dad, this guy, is playing our other pal Joseph. But I just noticed something as I was going through this. Scotty is in first place in the league.
I am. Yeah.
Way to go,
5-1.
Scott.
He's a couple points ahead of me. I'm letting him take the lead for a couple weeks just to fluff his pillow a little bit.
Well,
But-
let me say to Joseph real quick. It was me that knocked Mary up, and Jesus is my kid. You raised
So-
him for me.
So
Scott-
wait, who's Yam playing? Who's Yam playing?
Yam is playing Tony.
Oh, okay. All right.
So to
It
give a
won't make
little
any
bit of an
difference
update
by
as well,
freaking Saturday afternoon. By Saturday afternoon, our chat's gonna be full of yams saying shit.
It's hopeless. We'll never make it. Never. We're done for.
I hate to break it to you,
Not
he's
yet.
been throwing that in the chat while we've been recording. But to give a quick recap, Scotty's in first, Jesse is in second, I am in third, Joseph is in fourth, Yam is 5, this guy is 6, Tony is 7, Mark is 8, Scouse is 9, and Toothpick is 10.
I heard about this.
Scouse is ahead of someone. How does that work?
I heard about this.
Offensive
Points
player.
He got an interception, run back, pick six.
Who's he playing for? Who's Cody Barton playing?
Oh, Denver, I'm sorry.
Denver.
Oh, Denver. Wow.
Is he the one that picked
So
up the fumble?
Yes, he was. Yeah, it was
All right,
a fumble
so
interception.
did you see that play? Cody, was it an interception? Did he actually catch something, or was it
Well,
that
'cause
fumble?
the fumble you're talking about didn't count, but there was another one where he did score.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I saw.
So it bounced off the shoulder and straight into Cody Barton's arms, and he just ran it back.
Oh well, congratulations to you, Cody.
And he
Barton.
also also got a sack as well. I think yesterday.
It just
He
goes
looked
to
pretty
prove,
good.
if you eat enough shit, one of them's bound to have a little tiny taste of chocolate in it. So, congratulations, Cody.
Well, I think all the players that were on our team last year. I mean, Cody Barton played really good in Seattle. He was asked against us, and apparently he's playing well.
Put that back up.
Yeah, I mean, I make jokes, but our coaching staff last year was the worst thing I've ever seen. Our defensive coaches were the worst. Jack Del Rio, may you have fucking jock itch for every day for the rest of your fucking life. For the rest of your life.
So in other news, yeah, my rugby team, who I follow, Newcastle Falcons, won their first top flight Premiership game in 581 days.
Oh boy!
Thank God.
Dang.
26
the fun thing is
games we haven't won for, and we won tonight.
In Britain, he could have said 581 years, and it might have been true. Isn't that how old the hedge outside your house is? 581 years.
Probably about my hedge is probably about 120 years old.
That's when they get grumpy. All right, so congratulations to your Newcastle rugby team. Do we have anything else, Jesse? You got anything else before we got to go?
Nope. What time are we going on tomorrow?
All right, we will tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, when do we want to do our pick?
Oh,
because I haven't even thought about it. You tell me. What,
So
what kind of
there is
games
a
we got
big
tomorrow, Max?
There is a big 3:30 game in the SEC tomorrow. So
All
if
right.
we want to go at like 3:00,
Let's go earlier than that.
Why don't we go at 2?
I got a big bike show tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to do that show at the bike show.
2
And they
is
usually
7.
do
Is
we
it?
do this
awards around 3.
Should we do noon, which would be 5 your time,
Yeah.
Scotty?
Can't do it.
Okay, that's dinner time at your place, isn't it?
No, I'm at work.
It's
Until when?
Saturday?
I'm in work
Saturday?
all weekend.
What time you get home?
5.
When his last trick is over.
At 5
do, like-
p.m.
Yeah, PM.
So if we do it at 1 o'clock, you'll be good.
Yeah, 6 will be fine. Yeah.
All
All right, 1 p.m. That's good. But don't take away family time either, because I heard you.
Or
were
2 o'clock,
screaming at you
whatever's
about the
easier for
Christmas
you.
pajamas.
1 or 2, Scotty.
Yeah, two's good. If
2,
that's
please.
Okay.
All right, let's do 2.
2 it is.
So real
All right,
quick,
so 2
just,
p.m. tomorrow. Go ahead.
just to say it, because at 3:30 tomorrow is Alabama, Tennessee,
Oh, Alabama's
There you
going to
go.
lose, hopefully.
and then tomorrow
As you know.
night is Georgia,
If you-
Texas,
Alabama, Tennessee used to run a special.
Is that 6:30?
7:30.
7:30? I hope Alabama is going to be called out as the frauds that they are when they lose.
They are
they're just running
favored
on-
by
they're
3
running on
on the
fumes.
road.
They're still frauds. Fuck them. I hate Alabama.
Alabama,
Passion.
Tennessee used to run a promotion that if you smiled and they counted your teeth, that's how many dollars you paid to get in the door. And they found out over time they were losing money big time. So they tried a different promotion that said that any kids that you could prove were by a blood relative, a first cousin or a sister, they got in for free. And then again, it was not a moneymaker. They lost too many seats to a bunch of slope-headed kids. So they decided that now they're just going to fill these 2 colleges up with scholarships for those fucking kids, and they can go to the football game and pay their own way.
I will say, Scotty, if you don't like college football and you want to just look at it, watch that Alabama-Tennessee game. Tennessee fans go nuts. They have 110
because
and they're going to be loaded.
yeah, they have a what?
I'll give it a watch.
Oh, you know what? And I remember at Tennessee University, that's where there was a lawsuit about butt chugging. These people
Yes.
are stupid. Yes, butt chugging was this thing that came out. I don't know,
Wait, Scott,
how
what do you
long ago
think
was
butt
it?
chugging is? Wait.
Jesse
I mean,
has done it.
I've heard of similar things.
Oh, I've
but
seen it done
it's
now.
not-
Jesse,
Is it the
I've
pipe?
seen it.
Is it the beer in the pipe in the
Yes.
in the hole? As opposed to a beer
yes,
pint,
that's
which
what
is where
it is.
you
It is
which is
reverse
where
drinking
you
of beer. I don't.
which is where you fall
I've seen
underneath the arse
someone
and
get
you
real
pour a pint
fucked up
down
on it, and I've seen someone get alcohol poisoning and have to go to the hospital from it.
Oh,
Yep.
Well, you know, I would think alcohol poisoning from having that up your ass is the least of your worries. But yeah, I gotta think
they
that
don't
if
care.
I'm
It
at a
just
party and
swamps
somebody
their balls.
starts doing that, dude, I'll tell you what. If I'm at a party and somebody starts doing that, I'm no longer at this party. I'm getting my hat and I'm out the door. Yeah, I'm the one. Give me the Del Monte hat. I'll see you later. I'm going.
it's the Homer Simpson gif, isn't it?
I'm heading for another bar. I'll see you later.
These
Grandpa
damn redneck
Simpson.
bubbles, they get drunk, they get blackout drunk, and they say, "Hey, give me that tube, put it up my ass. I want to get drunker."
Oh my God, this is where I say, you know what? Have fun. I'm going. Sorry, I have been in some weird places. I watched a midnight get counted down in a bondage club by some women smacking some guy on the ass with a whip 12 times. Hey, I was there, and it was one of the weirder experiences of my life. And Max was
Were
probably
you
going,
the
"Oh
one
my
getting
God,
smacked
what
in the ass with the whip?
No, I was
I hope
not.
not.
I was the guy. I was the guy that got invited to this, and it was a place that didn't have a fixed address. It moved, right? It was one of these clubs, and it was
Yeah.
So,
downtown DC. And dude, I walked in, and because like these people invited me, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll go. Fuck it, I don't have anything else to do. It's New Year's Eve, and I'm single at the time. Fuck it, I'm going. So I go, and I'm dressed like, you know, fucking casual male, 35-year-old cat. And the guy, I go in the door, right? I go down this long, dark hallway, and the guy at the fucking
Let me
thing
guess, jeans and a t-shirt?
looked like, no, he looked like fucking Riff Raff from the fucking Rocky Horror
Oh,
Picture
God.
Show. And if you don't know who that is, go Google it. He looked just like this guy. And he came out and he looked me up and down and he went, oh my. Like that. I got on like a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Oh,
Didn't I say that?
So I was like, whatever. I gave him my $10 and he flung the door open. And dude, somebody's grandfather went walking past in a gold lame jockstrap and a pair of Chucks. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing there? Oh my God, what am I doing here? I went in there and man, people did everything. They were doing everything in there. It was, I got a beer. And I don't know, man.
Did you get a beer and just enjoy the show? That's all you needed.
I did. I just watched. And, you know, for me, I whenever I go into a bar back in the day from my old habits, I always find the person in the
horrified.
bar. I know. Max is like, I always find the guy in the bar who I think, okay, if shit breaks out, this is the dude I think I'm going to be behind because that's the baddest dude in the bar. And this dude was wearing a patent leather dress. And I'm like, he still looks like the baddest dude in the joint.
I'm doing the mental math, and I'm realizing that I was alive when this happened.
Yeah, you were probably maybe 2, maybe. And I tell you,
nice.
I think you were at your mom's that weekend.
Standard
him in the car. Dude, I'll tell you, the funniest part was
Saturday night
right
at
after
Burroughs' house. That
dude, right after midnight, because they all of a sudden the dance floor was ridiculous. I crossed through it one time, and I was like, Jesus Christ, holy fuck, everybody, Jesus, stop, knock it off! You're touching me stop touching me. But there was no stopping anybody from touching anything. So you just make your way across the fucking thing, and I'm going across, and I'm looking around, and I find a spot, and I'm sitting there drinking my beer, and watching this ridiculous. I mean, I can't even explain what it was like. And then at midnight, this spotlight hit the wall, and there was this guy up there, chained to the wall, and these 2 women were whacking him with these fucking things, counting down midnight. And I was like, as soon as they got to 12, I was like, okay, bye. I'm out of here. I walked out of that place, man, and I'm telling you what, this fucking guy looked like every bit of pimp that you could imagine. Saw me walking down the steps of this place, and he goes, man, if you coming out of there tonight by yourself, you must not have had a good time at all. I was like, I'm going home. I'll see you later. So there you go. There's John's weird story for New Year's Eve, 1999, maybe? Yeah, you saw that movie. Yeah, that's right, Mike. I was the interested party in the back. I didn't get credited, though. All right, so with John's weird story, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I was surprised Jesse didn't put the music on yet, so I'll start us off here.
I can't. I got him on the phone, man. Oh, yeah, I can.
That's right. All right, so we will be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. to pick some NFL football games and find out how much money we won or lost last week. Scotty has got the Big and Boss book in front of him, and honestly, if you have yet to watch Scott make a list in front of your eyes, it really is something to see.
Captivating.
We actually do pretty good with that, and we have a lot of fun. We talk about the NFL as a general whole. And speaking of general holes, that's, I think, the name of the club that I was in that night. All right, so until then, we will see you Sunday after the football game directly. Right, directly after there was plenty of women in that place. But, all right, so now I'm all off key again. All right, tomorrow at 2 o'clock for the NFL Pick Show. Sunday, directly after the football game. Yes, thank you.
We'll see y'all.
And then Monday again at 5:30. Right, if you're going to the game, be loud, be proud. Darrell Green is there for you. All right, so we'll see you then. Later.